Alright, so let's start modeling here. So first of all, I'm gonna take care about the main plate in that watch here, where the text, the Rolex text and the stuff like that is on. So let's start in by creating those 3 holes here that are in that plate. To do this, create a polygon cylinder. So mine, my defaults are set to a subdivision axis of 20, so be aware of that. And let's try to delete the top and the bottom faces. Okay, so select all of those and then Control deselect the faces in the middle, and Shift select all those faces, and then Control to select and deselect the faces here, so that you only have the top and the bottom faces. So delete those. And with that object selected, let me go to the top view. And let's bring that down to the center of that part here. So bring this right to the center. And then let's scale it up so that it comes to the size of the background image here. So we might want to move that down just a little bit. Somewhere it comes close. So let me hit a 3 to go to the smooth version here. That looks good to me. So with that done, let's do some tweaks on that cylinder. So first of all, let's scale that down a little bit, maybe a little bit more. And let's insert an edge loop here, one here. And we also want to take the border edge here, so double click on that and extrude that out just a little bit like this. And we can put in another edge loop in here, so select one of those edges here and Control right click, go to the edge ring utilities and go to edge ring and split. Okay, so with that piece done here, let's do 2 copies of that. So go to the top view and say okay, hit Control D. So, and if you hit W, yeah, you have the pivot in the center of that object. So we want to change that. Go hit D, hit X, and middle mouse to the center of the grid, so that the pivot is right here in the center. So now let's rotate our copy here, and let's rotate that in Y something like 263.5. So if you zoom in on that, that should work fine. And let's hit Control D to copy that once more and bring that over here and say rotate that in Y 96.5, so that it is in the same position as this one here, but only on the other side. Okay, so with that done, we are now ready to connect those pieces. Let's select all of those objects and say combine. So with those objects combined, we go in and take the append polygon tool, and let's try to connect all the pieces here. So select on this edge and on this one to append it, and then hit a G to repeat the last tool and do what I'm doing here. So just connecting those pieces, and once more, it's going to be the last one there. And let's connect this edge to this one here on the other side, and this one to this one. Oops, let me undo that. This one to this one. G to repeat the last tool always. And finally this one here. And we have to do the same thing on the other part here. And finally this one. So that looks good. So now to fill this hole here, we have first make a split on this part here. So to do this, select one of those edges here, and then again Control right click, go to the edge ring utilities, and then go to edge ring and split. And now take the append to polygon tool, and let's append this to this one here, hit G, and finally to fill that hole, boom, there you go. So now we have the inner piece almost done. So what we need now is something to connect this. So first of all, we need to know how many edges we have all around this piece here. So to figure that out, just double click on the border edge, and up here on my poly count, you see up here I've now got 32 edges selected. So this number here is now important when we create the outer part of this. Okay, so let's go in and create another cylinder here, and this time again we want to delete all the top and bottom faces as we did before. But first of all, almost forgot it, go into the inputs and type in the number 32. So we need 32 edges to connect this later on. So with the 32 faces created here on the subdivisions, again let's select the top and the bottom faces and delete those. And now take the object and let's scale that up to the size of that watch here. Can be a little bit larger because you won't even see later on the part up here. So okay, so with that done, let's scale that guy down, and we can even scale it down more. And now we want to move the pivot of that cylinder that we just made here to the upper top here. So doing this by holding down D, and then first move this guy up in Y, and then hit a V and hover over one of those vertex here, and middle mouse, and that should automatically bring that pivot up to this point here. So now we want to move this thing to this place here. So move it up first a tiny bit in Y, and then hit a V and middle mouse over a vertex on this line here. So now if you go to the side view, you see that those border edges here are on the same level. Yeah. So with that done, we are now ready to connect those pieces. So to do this, select both objects and again say combine. And now let's first check out the normals of that piece of geometry here. So I've got a button on my shelf here to show the face normals on and off, but you will find that under display, polygons, and down here face normals. So if you hit Control Shift and click on that, you will put it onto your shelf as well. So let me show the face normals. And what you see here is that those normals here are pointing this way. And from the first piece of geometry that we have, those normals are pointing in the wrong direction. So to fix that, let me turn off the face normals. You have to select all the faces from that first piece that we made here. So let's select those, all of those. We go to the top view and take my lasso tool here and go to face and select all of those faces. And with those faces selected, you can go up here to normals and say reverse. So now what we should have is the normals all pointing outwards. Yeah, like this. So now let's select that border edge here and the border edge from the inside part and say go to edit mesh and use the bridge tool. So that looks a little bit weird here, but if you go up here to the inputs and go to the bridge offset and rotate that, so yeah, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. So my bridge offset is now set to 5 and this is looking good. Okay, so we are ready with the first piece here. So let me pause the video and I'll be back in the next one.